aside my sopping hair and expose the white flesh of my neck. This will hurt, you murmured, lips tracing the words on my throat. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to my channel. Spiders, spiders, spiders. Today I really wanted to make a little video before I go out with my family for a meal. So I wanted to read this new book that I got. A Diary of Blood, Diary of Blood. It's like a fantasy romance vampire style book. It's a little bit gruesome, to be fair. So I'm just gonna read like the first few pages in like inaudible whispers, but so you can still hear what I'm saying. And I really like this book. It's good. It's not something I usually read. I love fantasy romance books, and I'm trying to write my own fantasy romance novel as well. I won't share too much until it's released next year sometime, but I wanted to buy a few like fantasy romance vampire fantasy like supernatural type ones just to get some ideas for my books that I'm going to be making, the book I'm going to be writing. So without further ado, let's read some of this book. Part 1. I never dreamed it would end like this, my lord. Your blood splashing hot flecks onto my nightgown and pouring in rivulets onto our bedchamber floor. But creatures like us live a long time. There is no horror left in the world that can surprise me. Eventually, even your death becomes its own sort of I know you loved us all in your own way. Magdalena for her brilliance, Alexei for his loveliness, but I was your war bride, your faithful Constanta, and you loved me for my will to survive. You coaxed that tenacity out of me, broke it down into your hands, leaving me on your work table like a desiccated doll until you were ready to prepare me. You filled me with your loving guidance, stitched up my scenes with thread in your favourite colour, taught me how to walk and talk and smile in whatever way pleased you best. I was so happy to be your marionette at first, so happy to be chosen. What I am trying to say is, I am trying to tell you, this bit's crossed out at the bottom, Even loneliness, hollow and cold, becomes so familiar it starts to feel like a friend. Keep a record, not for you or any audience, but to quiet my own mind. I will render you as you really were, neither cast in pristine stained glass nor unholy fire. I will make you into nothing more than a man, tender and brutal in equal measure. Perhaps in doing so I will justify myself to you, to my own haunted conscience. This is my last love letter to you, though some would call it a confession. I suppose both are a sort of gentle violence, posting down in ink what scorches the air when spoken aloud. If you can still hear me wherever you are, my love. If you can still hear me wherever you are, my love, my tormentor, hear this. It was never my intention to murder you. Not in the beginning, anyway. You came to me when the killing was done, while my last breath rattled through failing lungs. drunken singing of the raiders wafted towards me on the breeze as I lay in the blood-streaked mud, too agonised to cry out for help. My throat was hoarse from smoke and screaming, and my body was a tender mass of bruises and shattered bones. I had never felt pain like that in my life, and never would again. War is never valiant, only crude and hideous. Any left alive after the rest have been cut down do not last long, exposed to the elements. I was somebody's daughter once, a village girl with arms so strong enough to help my father in the smithy, and a mind quick enough to recall her mother's shopping list in the market. My days were measured by the light in the sky, and the chores set before me, with weekly spoken mass in our tiny wooden church. It was a meagre existence, but a happy one, full with my grandmother's ghost stories by the fire and the hopes that one day I would run my own household. I wonder what if you would have wanted me if you found me like that, vibrant and loved and alive, but you found me alone, my lord, beaten down to a shadow of my former self and very near death. It was as though fate had laid me out for you on an irresistible banquet. Of promise, you would say, of potential, I say it was vulnerability. I heard you before I saw you, the clink of the mail, crunch of debris underfoot. My grandmother always said creatures like you made no sound when they descended onto bad fields to sup on the fallen. You were supposed to be a night terror made of smoke, not a man of flesh and blood who left footsteps in the dirt. I flinched when you knelt at my side, my body using what little strength was left to jerk away. Your face was obscured by the dim light, but I bared my teeth all the same. I didn't know who you were, I just know I would claw the eyes out of the next man who touched me. If my fingers didn't seize up and betray me, I had been beaten and left for dead, and yet it was not death that had come to claim me. Such spite and fury, you said, your voice a trickle of ice water down my spine. It rooted me to the spot like a rabbit entrance by the hunter's lamp. Good, when life fails you, spite will not. You took my arm between your fingers, chill as a marble, and brought it into your mouth. Gently you pressed a kiss to the pulse, quickly going quiet in my wrist. It was only then I saw your face, while you leaned over me and gorged how long I had left to live. Sharp dark eyes, a Romanesque nose, and a severe mouth. There was no shadow of malnutrition or disease on your face, no childhood scar gone white with age, just smooth, impassible perfection, so beautiful that it hurt to look at. God, I rasped, coughing up bubbles of blood. Tears sprang to my eyes, half horror, half reverence. I hardly knew who I was talking to. God, help me. Drops of grey rain tumbled from the empty sky, splattering across my cheeks. I could barely feel them. I tightened my fingers into a fist, willing my heart to keep beating. So determined to live, you breathed, as though you were witnessing something holy, as though I was a miracle. I should call you Constanta, my steadfast Constanta. I shuddered as the rain began to pool around us, streaking through my hair and filling my gasping mouth. I know I had a name before that moment. It was sturdy. It was a sturdy name, warm and wholesome, like a loaf of dark bread fresh out of the oven. But the girl I had been disappeared the instant you pronounced me yours. You will not last long, steel world though you are, you said, drawing closer. Your presence over me blocked out the sky until all I could see was the battered metal insignia binding your cloak, closed at your throat. I had never seen clothes as fine as yours, or ones that looked so old. They have broken you badly. I tried to speak. They have broken you badly. I tried to speak again, but the pain searing through my chest wouldn't allow it. A broken rib, perhaps, or several. It was getting harder to drag air into my body. I heard a sick curdling sound with every inhale. Fluid in the lungs, probably blood. God, I rasped, managing a few meagre words. Save me, please. I squeezed my eyes shut and the tears trickled out. You bent to kiss my eyelids, one after the other. I cannot save you, Constanta, but I can help. Please. What else could have I said?
I didn't know what I was asking for, besides begging not to be left alone in the dirt to drown in my own blood. If I had refused you, would you have left me there, or was I already marked for you, my cooperation, merely a little bit of formality? You pulled aside my sobbing hair and exposed the white flesh of my neck. This will hurt, you murmured, lips tracing the words on my throat. I grasped blindly, heart hammering in my chest as the world blurred at the edges. My fingers curled around the first thing they found, your forearm. A startled look crossed your face and I clung to you tightly, pulling you closer. I didn't know what you were offering me, I just knew I was terrified that you were going to leave me. You stared into my face almost like you were seeing me for the first time. So strong, you said, tilting your head to take me in, the way a jeweler might a perfectly cut diamond. Hold fast, Constanta. If you live through this, you will never know the sting of death again. You lowered your mouth to my throat.